Have you ever seen a business that looks like it's doing everything wrong? No fancy branding, no online presence, but yet they're still winning. Their operations are smooth, their clients are happy, and their calendars are booked. Meanwhile, another founder is burnt out just trying to keep up. When I first saw this happening, I wondered why. I was confused. I thought the difference was marketing. Maybe they had better copy, better funnels, better people. I was wrong. The real difference, they weren't doing everything themselves. They had systems, invisible systems, doing the heavy lifting for them. Let me show you the actual pain point that every growing business eventually runs into. It's not that the work is hard, it's that the same work keeps repeating. You start with following up on leads, summarizing emails, taking calls, and sending invoices. And yeah, that's fine when it's just you. But as the business grows, these small tasks start stealing hours from your week. They creep into your weekends, distract you mid-focus, and take away from the time you're supposed to be spending with your family. At some point, you realize something has to give. So what do most people do? They hire a full-time employee, a virtual assistant, another salary. But hiring isn't a solution, it's a band-aid. Because even a human needs to be trained, monitored, and managed. And if they leave, you're right back to where you started. That's when most founders realize there has to be a better way. This is where AI automation agencies come into play. Not as a buzzword, but as an operational layer. What we do is go into businesses and identify every boring, repetitive, and revenue-related task. What we do from there is build automations that do the tasks quietly, repeatedly, and without needing your attention. We use tools like N8N, Make, and Zapier, which are all no-code tools by the way, to chain together back-end systems. Here's what I had to learn the hard way. The automations that save time are nice, but the ones that are directly correlated with making money, that's where the gold is. Anyone can automate a simple workflow that sends you a weekly digest of all the news in your industry. If you can automate something like a lead reactivation system that calls all your dormant leads that are sitting at the bottom of your CRM, or an inbound multilingual receptionist that takes calls, qualifies leads, and books them right into your calendar, that's not just helpful, that's scalable. It's the difference between having a tool and having leverage. And here's the kicker. When you have a tool that drives revenue, it isn't just a nice to have, it's an asset. There's a lot of hype around AI right now, so I don't blame you for being intimidated. Using ChatGPT to rewrite your email or a text message is cool, but it's not automation. AI is valuable when it replaces repetitive labor and works without you 24/7. If it requires handholding, it's not automation. If it's not aiding in human effort or improving decision making, it's not useful. Now, when it comes to how AI automation agencies get paid, it's just like any other business. It's a service. Some charge setup fees, some do ongoing retainers, and others do performance-based pricing, where we save X amount of hours or we generate Y amount of revenue. And here's what's important. If a business spends $5,000 to set up an automation, but it saves them 40 hours a week or generates some $40,000 in additional pipeline revenue, then the automation pays for itself many times over in the course of a year. When automation is done right, it isn't an expense, it's an investment that compounds over time. Well, does it make sense to implement AI automation into your workflow? Let's see. I wish I could just tell you that AI can come and save you no matter what industry you're in. I'm sure I'd book a lot more calls that way. But on the topic of calls, I'd love to see how AI automation could help you transform your business. Simply just click the first link in the description to book your free audit. It's important that I note this because my business only runs if I bring you real, tangible results. From what I've seen firsthand over the past year, the businesses that benefit the most from automation are agencies, consultants, and all service-based businesses. This is because industries like yours have predictable inputs and outputs, lots of leads, calls, follow-ups, and handoffs. This is where the AI shines. The more repeatable the business is, the more automation you can inject and the more leverage you can create. Let me ask you something. Are you still spending time on tasks that anyone else could be doing? Things like chasing follow-ups, answering the same types of calls, and juggling spreadsheets? How much of your week is eaten up by tasks that don't grow your business? I'm not saying you're lazy. I know you're working hard. But the truth is, those tasks aren't your job anymore. You should be focused on creating, scaling, creating margin, focusing on what you actually started your business for. Whether that's freedom for yourself, security for your family, or just not being chained to operations every day. Automation isn't just about efficiency. It's about clearing the noise so you can focus on why you started this thing in the first place. So if you're tired of doing everything yourself and you know you're meant to be thinking bigger, it's probably time. Time to clean up the back end, time to clear your focus, time to build the business you actually set out to build. You know your problem, you know your solution, and now most importantly, you know who could solve it for you.